Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Sheriff Beth and the Kenosha County Sheriff's Department, I want to welcome you to today's promotion and awards ceremony. I would like to remind everyone to please silence your phones. Every year, we do our best to recognize and honor those within our department and community who work hard and go above and beyond to perform their duties in an exemplary manner. These men and women have something in common. They value their careers and do their best to serve their community with dedication, discipline, and sacrifice. I would now like to welcome KSD Chaplain John Haggerty to present the invocation.
Good morning. No matter how many times I stand in front of people and deliver a message, it's always get those butterflies in my heart. But thank you for allowing me to give this invocation prayer today. Sure, appreciate it. Lord Jesus, you said we are to honor those who are deserving of honor. This is why we are gathered here. We humbly ask that these faithful servants continue honorably in their committed service, that their accountability remains without question to the citizens they have sworn to serve and protect. And lastly, give them a teachable spirit, growing in knowledge and wisdom in their profession. We ask these requests be given by you in Jesus' name. Amen.
We will now proceed with the promotion portion of today's ceremony. Front and center, promoted to the rank of Captain, Lieutenant Daniel Ruth. To present Captain Ruth his badge and collar insignia, we welcome his wife, Becky Ruth, and his daughters, Audrey and Lindsay Ruth. Captain Ruth was hired as a deputy sheriff by the Kenosha County Sheriff's Department in September of '96. Captain Ruth was born and raised in Lake County, Illinois, attended Zion Benton Township High School. After high school, Captain Ruth attended the College of Lake County, where he received an Associate's of Science degree, and later attended the University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point and earned a bachelor's degree. In his early career, he was assigned to the Operations Division, working as patrol deputy from 1996 to 2006. Most of this was spent on third shift. However, he had the opportunity to work on all three patrol shifts. He was trained as a field training officer, level 3 accident investigator, and evidence technician. In addition, Captain Ruth became a member of the Kenosha County Sheriff's Tactical Response Team in March of 1998, where he received extensive tactical training. Captain Ruth also attained the American Sniper School in Rockford, Illinois, and then served as a tactical team sniper from 2003 to December of 2017. Captain Ruth was promoted to detective in March of 2006. He attended the 2-week Wisconsin Department of Criminal Investigations Death Investigation School. Captain Ruth served as a detective from 2006 to November of 2012, and during this time was the lead and or assisted in the management of several homicide and death investigations, among other crimes. Captain Ruth was promoted to the rank of sergeant in November of 2012 and served as third shift patrol supervisor until November of 2014. In September of 2012, Captain Ruth was awarded the Silver Star for his efforts in evacuating the residents of a burning apartment building while on patrol. He later served as the Public Information Officer for the Sheriff's Department from November 2014 until August 2016, during which time he became a graduate of leadership in police organizations in 2015. In 2016, Captain Ruth was promoted to the rank of lieutenant, where he initially served as the first shift patrol supervisor before being assigned to the Detentions Division as the pretrial facility administrator until 2018. During this time, he managed the remodeling of the jail intake area to accommodate a state-of-the-art body scanning X-ray device. In 2018, he was assigned to the Detective Bureau, where he had oversight of both general assignment and the Narcotics Division. During his time in the Detective Bureau, Captain Ruth managed several high-profile death investigations, receiving a Sheriff's Certificate of Appreciation Award along with members of the Detective Bureau regarding efforts in resolving the homicide of our esteemed police officer, John Helen. Additionally, Captain Ruth received a Sheriff's Life Saving Award in December of 2020. Captain Ruth was promoted to the rank of captain in July of 2021 and was assigned to the Detentions Division where he is currently serving. We thank him for his dedication to the Kenosha County Sheriff's Department and wish him well in his new role. A round of applause for Captain Ruth. Promoted to the rank of captain, Lieutenant Tony Gonzalez. To present Captain Gonzalez his badge and collar insignia, we welcome his father, Mario Gonzalez, and his daughters, Ellie and Susie Gonzalez. To present Captain Gonzalez, a native of Guatemala, Captain Tony Gonzalez was raised in Chicago's South Side. He served 8 years in the U.S. Navy as a hospital corpsman with the Fleet Marine Force. After his military service, he pursued his education and attended Purdue University, where he earned his bachelor's degree in criminal justice. He later earned his master's degree in organizational leadership and administration from Concordia University, Wisconsin, Veteran School of Business. Captain Gonzalez was hired as a deputy sheriff by the Kenosha County Sheriff's Department in February of 2008. In his early career, he was assigned to the Operations Division. During those years, he had opportunity to work in all 3 patrol shifts and was assigned to the contracted patrol duties in the village of Paddock Lake and the village of Bristol. As the department's first fluent Spanish-speaking deputy, he was a sought-after asset, assisting surrounding agencies with translation in various investigations. Captain Gonzalez also served in the Crisis Negotiations Unit from 2011 to 2016 as a hostage negotiator and served as the unit commander from 2016 to 2020. Other training includes crisis intervention team, statement analysis, and supervision of police personnel at Northwestern's University Center for Public Safety. He is the first member to complete FBI LEADA's Supervisor Leadership Institute, Command Leadership Institute, and Executive Leadership Institute. Captain Gonzalez was promoted to sergeant in 2016, where he spent time supervising all 3 patrol shifts. In addition, he also served as a supervisor in the department's conveyance unit and as the Sergeant of Training and Public Information Officer, responsible for media and community relations. In 2019, Captain Gonzalez was promoted to the rank of lieutenant and was assigned to the Kenosha County Detention Center as the facility administrator. He was most recently promoted to the rank of captain in July of 2021, making him the 2nd youngest member of the Sheriff's Department and the first Hispanic within the agency to attain that rank. We thank him for his dedication to the Kenosha County Sheriff's Department and wish him well in his new role. A round of applause for Captain Gonzalez. Promoted to the rank of Lieutenant Sergeant Brian Easter. Unfortunately, Lieutenant Easter is unable to be with us today as he is out of town. I will read his bio. Lieutenant Easter was hired by Kenosha County Sheriff's Department in May of 2008. He was originally assigned to the Patrol Division and also spent time in the Process Division, Traffic Interdiction Unit, and Conveyance Division. Lieutenant Easter was promoted to sergeant in June of 2018 and spent 1 year supervising 2nd Shift Patrol before being assigned to the Administrative Services Division as a Support Services Sergeant. Lieutenant Easter was appointed as the commander of the SMC unit and most recently the Drone Unit. He was promoted to lieutenant in July of 2021 and is currently assigned to the Administrative Services Division. We thank him for his dedication to the Kenosha County Sheriff's Department and wish him well in his new role. A round of applause for Lieutenant Easter. Promoting to the rank of Lieutenant, Sergeant Keith Funk. To present Lieutenant Funk his badge, we welcome his wife, Rebecca Funk. Lieutenant Keith Funk has been employed with the Kenosha County Sheriff's Department for the past 20 years. In October of 2001, Lieutenant Funk was hired as a direct supervision officer and served as the Kenosha County Detention Center. In March of 2008, Lieutenant Funk left KCDC and was hired as a deputy sheriff for the department. For most of his career as a deputy sheriff, he was on the second shift, where he received training as a field training officer, accident investigator, and evidence technician. Lieutenant Funk remained on second shift until he was promoted to the rank of sergeant in August of 2017. As a sergeant, he worked on third shift patrol, conveyance division, and first shift patrol. In July of 2021, he attained the rank of lieutenant and is currently in charge of third shift patrol. Lieutenant Funk is one of the assistant commanders of the county's crowd control team and has been with the unit since its inception. We thank him for his dedication to the Kenosha County Sheriff's Department and wish him well in his new role. A round of applause for Lieutenant Funk. Promoting the rank of Sergeant, Deputy Kent Waldo. To present Sergeant Waldo his badge, we welcome his wife, Felicia Waldo. Sergeant Kent Waldo was hired by the department in January of 2009 as a deputy. Sergeant Waldo is an EVOC instructor and accident investigator and also a member of the Marine Unit and the Snowmobile ATV Unit. Sergeant Waldo was promoted to the rank of sergeant in March of 2021 after working 11 years as a deputy. In March, Sergeant Waldo was assigned to the Operations Division and assumed a supervisory role on third shift patrol. Sergeant Waldo also assumed duties as the commander of the Marine Unit and the Snowmobile ATV Unit. Sergeant Waldo holds an associate's degree from Gateway Technical College. We thank him for his dedication to the Kenosha County Sheriff's Department and wish him well in his new role. A round of applause for Sergeant Waldo. Promoting the rank of Sergeant, Detective Joseph Zarletti. To present Sergeant Zarletti his badge, we welcome his wife, Kendra Zarletti. Sergeant Joseph Zarletti was hired by the department in May of 2006 as a correctional officer. In January of 2007, he was hired as a deputy sheriff, and in 2019 was promoted to the rank of detective after working 12 years as a patrol deputy, primarily on third shift. As a detective, Sergeant Zarletti worked in the General Assignment Division for approximately 1 year and also served as a narcotics detective in the Kenosha Drug Operations Group KDOG for approximately 1.5 years. Sergeant Zarletti is a field training officer, a firearms instructor, and evidence technician, and is also a member of the Honor Guard Tactical Response Team, serving as both an operator and a team leader for over 13 years. Sergeant Zarletti was promoted to the rank of sergeant in July of 2021. In July, Sergeant Zarletti was assigned to the Operations Division and assumed a supervisory role on third shift patrol. Sergeant Zarletti also assumed duties as the Assistant Commander of the Tactical Response Team in November of 2021. Sergeant Zarletti holds an associate's degree from Winona State University. We thank him for his dedication to the Kenosha County Sheriff's Department and wish him well in his new role. A round of applause for Sergeant Zarletti. Promoting to the rank of Sergeant, Deputy Ryan Gott. To present Sergeant Gott his badge, we welcome his wife, Sydney Gott. Sergeant Gott was hired by the Kenosha County Sheriff's Department in March of 2008. He was originally assigned to the Patrol Division and has spent time as a court officer. Sergeant Gott has been trained as an accident investigator and evidence technician. He also serves on the KSD Marine Unit and is the Sheriff's Mobile Command Operator. We thank him for his dedication to the Kenosha County Sheriff's Department and wish him well in his new role. A round of applause for Sergeant. rank of detective, Deputy Justin McCoy. To present Detective McCoy with his badge, we welcome his wife, Sheila McCoy. Detective McCoy was hired as a deputy sheriff on February 8, 2008. Detective McCoy served as the school resource officer at the Wilmot High School from 2016 to 2021. During that time, Detective McCoy became an instructor of the ALICE program and has trained area schools in active shooter response. He currently serves on the department's crisis negotiation unit, honor guard unit. As a detective, Detective McCoy serves as a sensitive crimes unit investigator. We thank him for his dedication to the Kenosha County Sheriff's Department and wish him well in his new role. A round of applause for Detective McCoy. Promoting to the rank of detective, Deputy Scott Becker. To present Detective Becker with his badge and welcome his wife, Sarah Becker. Detective Scott Becker was hired by the department in September of 2013 as a correctional officer in the pretrial facility. In May of 2016, he was hired as a deputy sheriff assigned to second shift patrol. In July of 2020, Detective Becker was the first deputy to be selected as a member of the Kenosha Drug Operations Group, KDOG. Detective Becker is a field training officer, defense and arrest tactics instructor, less lethal instructor, and a member of the tactical response team, honor guard, and Marine unit. Detective Becker is a U.S. Army veteran who has served 4 combat tours in Iraq and 2 combat tours in Afghanistan in support of the global war on terrorism as a member of the 1st Battalion, 75th Ranger Regiment. We thank him for his dedication to the Kenosha County Sheriff's Department and wish him well in his new role. A round of applause for Detective Becker. Promoting to the rank of detective, Deputy Jacob Castillo. To present Detective Castillo with his badge, we welcome his wife, Jessica Castillo. Detective Castillo was hired by the Kenosha County Sheriff's Department in February of 2011. In his 10 years with the Sheriff's Department, Detective Castillo has been assigned to 1st, 2nd, and 3rd Shift Patrol, Advanced Unit, and the Traffic Interdiction Unit. Detective Castillo serves on the department as a field training officer, evidence technician, crisis negotiator, Sheriff's Mobile Command Unit operator, is a member of the KDOG Strike Force, and is an emergency vehicle operations controls pursuit driving instructor. We thank him for his dedication to the Kenosha County Sheriff's Department and wish him well in his new role. A round of applause for Detective Castillo.
I can feel myself this morning. There we go.
Promoting to the rank of corporal, direct supervision officer, Carrie Eschman. To present Corporal Eschman with her insignia, we welcome her sons, Robert and Riley Eschman. Corporal Eschman has been employed with the Kenosha County Sheriff's Department at the detention center since June of 2017. She is a field training officer and was promoted to the rank of corporal in October of 2021. She enjoys supervising the inmates at KCDC and has earned the nickname Smiley, based on her positive attitude, work ethic, and demeanor. When she is not at work, Corporal Eschman enjoys spending time with her sons, being outdoors in the garden, or sitting with her pets reading her favorite books. We thank her for her dedication to the Kenosha County Sheriff's Department and wish her well in her new role. A round of applause for Corporal Eschman. Promoting to the rank of corporal, correctional officer Sean Bogdala. To present Corporal Bogdala with his insignia, we welcome his girlfriend Adela Zavala.
Jim.
Corporal Abdallah was hired by the Kenosha County Sheriff's Department as a correctional officer in June of 2017. He has since become a field training officer and trained 10 different recruit correctional officers. Corporal Abdallah is also a crisis intervention officer for the jail, and he was promoted to corporal in October of 2021. We thank him for his dedication to the Kenosha County Sheriff's Department and welcome him in his new role. A round of applause for Corporal Abdallah. Mourning the rank of Corporal Correctional Officer Matthew Rary. To present Corporal Rary with his insignia, we welcome his fiancée, Nicole Janis. Corporal Rary has served with the Kenosha County Sheriff's Department as a correctional officer since 2016. He has been trained as a field training officer and is a member of the Cell Extraction Response Team. We thank him for his dedication to the Kenosha County Sheriff's Department and wish him well in his new role. A round of applause for Corporal Rary. Next is the awards portion of today's ceremony. Today at the awards are separated into individual categories. Each category brings recognition to members of the Kenosha County Sheriff's Department for their meritorious performance of their individual duties. Certificate of Appreciation. The recipient of this award is Special Agent Jason Salerno and his K-9 Sandy. The Certificate of Appreciation is the Kenosha Sheriff's Department's 7th highest award. It shall be awarded for an act of extraordinary intelligence reflecting a highly credible police or law enforcement accomplishment, displaying perseverance and devotion to duty in an extraordinary situation. From November 1st, 2021 through November 19, 2021, the Kenosha County Sheriff's Department requested assistance from the ATF to provide support for the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. Given the circumstances of this high-profile case and past civil unrest that occurred in Kenosha, an explosive detection K-9 unit was needed. Special Agent Jason Salerno and his K-9 Sandy were tasked with this assignment. During the trial, Special Agent Salerno and K-9 Sandy worked long hours alongside KSD bomb technicians and court security deputies. Without his dedication, the KSD would have had to request assistance from several other law enforcement agencies to accomplish the same mission. Due to Special Agent Salerno and K-9 Sandy's steadfast devotion and highly competent manner, the KSD courthouse security mission went smoothly and without contention. A round of applause for Special Agent. Life-Saving Awards. The recipients of this award are Deputies Brian Kishnitsky, Kyle Bissonette, Joseph Geisman, David Gomez, Thomas Tritzler, John Thomas Jones, and KPD Officer Paul Chase. The Life Saving Award is the 5th highest award given to a department employee or member of an outside agency who successfully administers a life-saving technique. Citation for Brian Kishnitsky, Deputies Brian Kishnitsky and Kyle Bissonette. On October 17, 2020, Deputies Kyle Bissonette and Brian Kishnitsky responded to the Walmart in Summers, Wisconsin for a report of an elderly male who fell in one of the aisles and was not conscious or breathing. While Deputies Bissonette and Kishnitsky responded, dispatch advised CPR had been started. Deputies Bissonette and Kishnitsky quickly assessed the patient and confirmed the man was in cardiac arrest. Deputy Bissonette took over chest compressions while Deputy Kishnitsky began preparing an automated defibrillator device. Working as a team, Deputies Bissonette and Kishnitsky provided chest compressions to the man and delivered a life-saving shot to the patient. Rescue personnel arrived a short time later and took over life-saving efforts. The patient was transported by rescue personnel to an area hospital and ultimately survived. Deputies Bissonette and Kishnitsky's quick response and actions were pivotal in saving this man's life. Round of applause. Citation Citation for deputies Joseph Geisman, David Gomez, and Officer Paul Chase. On October 29, 2020, dispatch advised of a water-related call in a small boat harbor of Lake Michigan. According to dispatch, a 25-foot boat was loose in the harbor and a man was also in the water. Deputy Geisman and Gomez were in the area, heard the call dispatch, and responded. Upon arrival, Deputy Geisman observed KPD Officer Paul Chase holding on to the male subject who was in the water. Deputy Geisman and Officer Chase pulled the subject out of the water, and Deputy Geisman began CPR as the man was not breathing. Deputy Gomez arrived on the scene a short time later and assisted with CPR as well. While doing CPR, deputies were able to get a pulse and continue to do CPR until the Kenosha Fire Department arrived. The male subject ultimately survived. Deputies Geisman, Gomez, and Officer Chase's quick response were critical in saving this man's life. Round of applause. Citation for Deputy Thomas Trissler. On March 30th, 2021, Deputy Trissler responded to 26704 106th Street for an overdose. Upon arrival, Deputy Trissler observed a female patient lying face up on the ground. The female was unconscious and not breathing. Deputy Trissler administered one dose of Narcan. The female started to breathe again, but then stopped, causing Deputy Trissler to administer a second dose of Narcan. The second dose did not appear to be effective, and Deputy Trissler began CPR on the patient. The patient began to breathe again and became conscious. Deputy Trissler's quick response and actions were crucial in saving this woman's life. Round of applause. Citation for Deputy John Thomas Jones. On June 22nd, 2021, Deputy J.T. Jones was northbound on County Trunk Highway Y, south of County Trunk Highway A, when he observed a vehicle with expired registration. Upon initiating a traffic stop, the vehicle accelerated away from Deputy Jones, reaching speeds of over 100 miles an hour. A high-speed pursuit ensued, and the vehicle traveled into Racine County, traveling northbound and southbound lanes. Deputy Jones slowed but continued to follow the suspect vehicle. The vehicle drove off the road and crashed into a utility pole and tree in the west ditch line of County Trunk Highway Y, just into Racine County. The driver and sole occupant of the vehicle was trapped inside, and the vehicle had now started on fire. Deputy Jones assisted the driver out of the vehicle through the passenger side window and away from the burning vehicle. The suspect driver was transported by rescue to an area hospital, but did not have life-threatening injuries. The suspect was later transported to the jail on charges of fleeing, reckless endangering safety, bail jumping, and numerous traffic violations. Deputy Jones's quick response aided in saving this man's life. Round of applause. The Purple Heart Award. The recipients of this award are Corrections Sergeant Brian Doe and KSD K9 Riggs. The Purple Heart Award is the fourth highest award given to a member of the department to recognize personal sacrifice in their service to Kenosha County. The Purple Heart may be awarded to an officer or deputy for injuries received while on duty or off duty, while the officer was acting in their lawful and official capacity. K9 Riggs will also be getting the Silver Star Award, so I will wait to read this citation. Citation for Sergeant Brian Doe. On August 24th, 2020, Sergeant Brian Doe was assigned to the Kenosha County Crowd Control Team as a less lethal weapons operator, specifically the pepperball gun. This incident occurred during the civil unrest in the city of Kenosha after the KPD officer-involved shooting. Sergeant Doe was positioned behind the KSD Crowd Control Team on the steps of the Kenosha County Courthouse. Rioters were throwing projectiles at the Crowd Control Team, including water bottles, rocks, tools, fireworks, and Molotov cocktails. While at his position, an unknown subject threw an explosive device behind Sergeant Doe, which detonated directly next to him. Sergeant Doe was hit by shrapnel from the device, causing him pain in his right arm and leg. He also lost hearing in his right ear. Sergeant Doe required immediate medical attention. After his right arm and leg were bandaged due to the open bleeding wounds, Sergeant Doe immediately returned to his position behind the crowd control team and continued to protect the courthouse with his team. A round of applause. The Silver Star Award. The recipients of this award are Deputy Colin Coltrip and KSD K9 Riggs. The Silver Star Award is the second highest award given to a member of the department in recognition of service for valor, courage, intelligence, and bravery that was shown and demonstrated over and beyond what is expected of a dedicated Sheriff's Department employee. The citation for Deputy Colin Coltrip. Unfortunately, Deputy Coltrip could not be here today as he is at a bomb training in Alabama. On December 20th, 2020, Deputy Colin Coltrip responded to 236 2080th place for a report of a male subject that had fallen through the ice on Hooker Lake. The caller advised that the subject was in the middle of the lake and was thrashing around in the water. Upon arrival, Deputy Coltrip observed the subject in the water waving his arms. The temperature was 30 degrees, and there was a thin layer of ice on top of the water. Deputy Coltrip located a canoe along the shore and made his way to the subject, breaking the ice as he went. Deputy Coltrip was able to get the subject into the canoe. The subject appeared hypothermic and began to go into shock. The subject began to violently move around in the canoe, causing the canoe to capsize. Deputy Coltrip and the subject were now in the water, which was about 6 feet deep. Deputy Coltrip crawled out of the water onto the ice and coached the subject to do the same. Both Deputy Coltrip and the subject made it to shore and were treated by rescue personnel. Deputy Coltrip performed an act of bravery at the risk of his own life and undoubtedly saved this man's life. A round of applause for him. Citation for KSD K9 Riggs. On October 21st, 2021, KSD deputies were dispatched to the Benson Corners Shell gas station in an attempt to locate a stolen vehicle that was involved in a homicide out of Chicago. Deputies located the vehicle and attempted to make contact with the operator. A high-risk traffic stop was conducted, and the suspect fled from the vehicle. KSD K9 Riggs was on scene with his handler, Deputy Terry Tiff. Deputy Tiff deployed K9 Riggs, who apprehended the suspect within seconds. The suspect was ultimately taken into custody, but unfortunately, K9 Riggs was shot point blank in the forehead by the suspect. K9 Riggs was transported to an emergency vet clinic and miraculously survived. K9 Riggs performed an act of courage, valor, bravery, and was a hero that day. He potentially saved the lives of our deputies and the public. A round of applause for K9 Riggs. Correctional Professionals of the Year Award. The recipients for this award are Corporal Sean Bogdala, Direct Supervision Officer Randy Julius, and Admissions Release Specialist Tricia Colbert. The Correctional Professional of the Year Award is presented to a correctional employee from the Kenosha County Detention Center, pretrial facility, and admissions release specialist that has made a significant contribution to the Kenosha County Sheriff's Department Detention Division during the previous 12-month period. The significant impact is defined by contributions toward boosting morale, community involvement, providing excellent service to law enforcement and inmate population, and developing or implementing a new program or procedure which will benefit the overall organization. These professionals model exemplary behaviors on an above-average employee by providing exemplary service in their daily job performance and demonstrate a willingness to work above and beyond the call of duty with a positive attitude. These individuals are looked at and sought out for being role models and leaders within the organization. A round of applause for our correction professionals. Ladies and gentlemen, this time I present to you Sheriff David Beth with closing remarks.
First of all, how about a round of applause for David Wright, who set all this up for me. Yesterday, I opened up one of my drawers in my office, and there on the top was a newspaper article. It showed me by our plaque, our patch. And it said, I made a comment in one of the interviews, we don't live in Mayberry anymore. And back in '82 when I started, it seemed much more Mayberry-ish than it does now. The world has changed, Wisconsin's changed, and for sure Kenosha County has changed. The chance that there would have been a homicide in Kenosha County when I was a brand new deputy, like every couple of years one would happen, and it was a huge deal. Now the shootings that occurred in the city of Kenosha and throughout the county, really, there are gun calls every single day, and sometimes multiple ones. The life-saving that the staff of the Sheriff's Department, the City Police Department do, it's nonstop. If just the Narcan that we can do, the AEDs that we do, the pulling people out of rivers and lakes, and all the different things that we do on a day-to-day basis. The world's changed. When we believe in climate control, even last night, the 70-mile-an-hour winds that were here, the everything that's going on around us, everything seems to be changing for all of us. Some of it's for the better, and some of it I don't know that it is. The fact that we have so many dedicated men and women in this department. You got the command staff with Chief Deputy Levin and Captains Miller, Ruth, and Gonzalez. These are the top 4 leaders of the department here that make sure things run every single day. If something happens in the building or on a call, these are 4 of the people that run out to supervise, to be in charge. But these are the men and women right here that are frontline. You heard what they do. You heard the teams that they're on. You've heard the calls that they went out and actually saved people's lives or assisted them. It's absolutely amazing what our staff can do. If you think back to August, September of 2020, I don't know, any of you guys remember that time? We were national news. Every day we're on the news. Some of us didn't sleep. You got to sleep in your car for an hour before you woke back up and you headed back out to work on whatever was going to be you'd be in charge of that day. The world watched, and Kenosha Sheriff's Department shined. Were we perfect? No, but we have been labeled by agencies throughout the state and the entire country as one of the lead law enforcement agencies in this entire country. We've been asked to do trainings in Wisconsin and across the country. We are asked to give presentations again and again. We have trainers in our department that can teach almost anything. It's absolutely amazing what our staff can do. And we work closely with, as I see Sandy and our ATF friends, we work closely with agencies throughout, I keep going back to the country, but it wasn't like it was just Kenosha Police Department or Twin Lakes or Racine. We work with agencies throughout this entire country. And when they came last year, I was told by several of the agents from different agencies, we have never been treated in the fashion. We treated them like family when they rolled in. Agents from the U.S. Marshal's office that were in Portland came directly from there to Kenosha, and he said they were told that if any of the state or local officers from Seattle were to assist them, they would be immediately terminated. We welcomed all the help here. We welcomed all the assistance from all the agencies from throughout the state, the National Guard. I don't know if you guys know it, but we had at one point about 3,000 boots on the ground here to protect Kenosha as we ended up closer to the end of that first week. One of the parts that really made me cry was as I watched during the daytime, I saw mothers, grandmothers, businesses bring supplies to feed, if you really think about this, 3,000 meals 3 times a day, bring food for all those people. The Journey Church put together a team of people, I forget what they're called off the top of my head, but they came and they assisted in feeding all those people. We had a team from northern Wisconsin, a tactical team from Oneida, I think. One of their deputies was going to be getting married on Saturday. The rest of that team was in his wedding. The groom-to-be left Friday, and the rest of his team stayed here to protect Kenosha. The support that we have, the leadership that we have, both in this community and in our state, is outstanding. And you got to see some of the cream of the crop here of our department. But even if they aren't here, they are definitely shining stars for Kenosha. And for all the families, the parents, the sons and daughters and wives and girlfriends and husbands and all the different parts that make up this core group here today, and really the core group of our family of the Sheriff's Department. You don't realize how important you are, how you support, how the need for you to support your loved one that works for the Sheriff's Department. I don't think you realize sometimes how important and how difficult it is. Real quick story for me, years ago my mother helped start the Paris Rescue Squad. She carried a radio. She was able to listen to our calls. There was a chase. Dave Hiring, for those who've been here a while, was another deputy, and the two of us found some bank robbers from Racine, got into a car chase, and got into a gunfight with them. And we were able to apprehend both the bank robbers and put them away. But my mother, all she heard was the radio communication. She listened as I called up the chase, and Deputy Hiring called out, "We have one shot, we need rescue." That's all he said. He didn't say it was the good or the bad guys that were caught or shot. And my mother was sure it was me. She ran to the hospital crying because she was sure that I was the one, because I wasn't answering radio, but it wasn't me. We got the bad guys. But it just to show the toll that being a parent or a loved one of someone in law enforcement or corrections, the fears that they have. Our job in law enforcement is to do our best to ease the concerns that our family has. And I don't think it ever really goes away. We take it for granted they're going to go to work and they're going to come home. It doesn't always happen that way, but we're pretty darn good at making sure it does, because we all work together so incredibly well. So for all the families that are here, whatever role and whatever part you play as a family member, thank you for being here. For all the men and women of the Sheriff's Department that are honored today, that you moved up through the ranks, you're honored for what you do, thank you. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for the day-to-day dedication, and bless all you guys and Merry Christmas.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. We welcome you to come forward and offer your congratulations to our promotees and award recipients, and join us for refreshments at the back of the room. Once again, thank you all for coming.